Black TikTok paranormal. I have a paranormal story that I'm going to tell y'all today. It's happened about 8 years ago, and it happened with some unexplainable things that happened in the sky. So kind of like a UFO, strange things in the sky type of story. So I lived downtown in a high-rise apartment, and a friend was over for dinner. So I cooked dinner. Mind you, that day I hadn't drank anything, smoked any pot, anything like that. And neither had my friend. So I made my friend dinner. We were sitting down eating dinner, just chilling out, eating at the table, talking. Now I had these huge windows in my apartment. I mean, one long window. And in this apartment, I never closed the blinds. I always had the blinds open, so the windows are all full open. Now this happened in the evening. So we're sitting there having dinner, and basically it happened in a split second. He happened to be looking out the window, and I happened to be looking like on the interior of the apartment. Because it's like we're sitting at a table eating. I'm eating, he's eating, but I'm just, I had my head towards the interior of the apartment away from the window. And his head happened to be, glancing out the window. So all of a sudden there's this green laser light beam that comes through the window. Now, I told you my head is facing the interior, the inside of the apartment. His head is facing out of the window where the huge window was. So when the beam came through, we both jumped like this and looked at each other. And I was like, what was that? And then all of a sudden he says, get out, 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 get out. So we got down on the floor and we crawled to the back of my apartment away from the window to my bedroom, and we just started, we were on the floor just like, what the fuck was that? What was that? What was that? Oh, he was like, I don't know. We couldn't even catch our breath. Now, what makes this so strange is a lot of people say, well, maybe it was a laser pointer. It wasn't a laser pointer, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was facing the interior of the apartment and the beam came through, that's when I saw it. So the beam stopped like right before it got to the oven or something like that. It was weird. And there was like a green vapor that came off of the ending of the beam. Not only was there a green vapor that came off the ending of the beam, but it made like a buzzing sound when it came through the window. So it was like, zzz, you know what I mean? It happened so fast. And I'm like, what? So if it was a laser pointer, there wouldn't be any sound. And there definitely wouldn't be like a vapor coming off the end of the laser beam. So we start talking about what happened. He says, he saw it from a different angle because he saw it out the window. I saw the end of the beam. He saw it where it was coming from. So we started talking. He was like, yeah, it came from this way. It looked like it came from these buildings or it came from that way. And I'm like, dude, because it's downtown, I'm surrounded by buildings, but, that was pretty much the end of that story. We talked about it for a while. I didn't walk through my kitchen, for like a month without ducking. Like, it was so scary. Y'all think I'm lying, but it was not like a regular laser beam. It was like a beam that came through with a sound. There was like a little buzz to it, like bzzz. And when I saw the end, how the beam stopped, the ending of the beam, there was like a vapor. It was just the wildest thing ever. Now, I'm going to tell you another story in conjunction with this story. So, same apartment, same big window, everything. So, about a year after, or about six months after that had happened, same friend was over, and we were just chilling, kicking it, had a little something to drink this time, just chilling. But we were just buzzed, chilling. And I saw my friend staring out the window. I'm like, why is he staring out the window? Like, what's wrong with him? Staring out the window, just staring. So I'm like, dude, what you looking at? He's like, man, come look at this in the sky. He started videoing it and everything. He said, look at it, look at this. And I'm like, what? What is it? So there's these lights. And there's like triangle shaped lights. There's a light here and then two lights at the bottom, and there's three of these triangular shaped lights. Like there's three different sets of them in the sky, and they're like just moving about just a little bit. They're just moving about like in a strange way. So when I saw it, I said, well, is it a satellite? Like maybe it could be a satellite. And I was like, let me look at it. I said, well, it could be a satellite or it could be something like that. And he was like, no, heck no. Look how it's moving. Like, you know, there's 3 lights. They're all 3 of them are shaped in a triangle because they all have 1 light and then 2 lights on the side. So we're just like, I'm videoing it. And then like, he's tripping like, dude, that is not normal. It's not a satellite. It's nothing like that. Same apartment, same, you know, creepy things in the sky. So all of a sudden they went out of our view and we couldn't see them anymore. So I said, let's go to the other end of the building, you know, the opposite direction, because we had a big patio you could stand out on. So we went on a different floor to the big patio and we looked and we saw the same group of lights. Like they went out of our focus or vision for a while, but they were behind the building this time. So I was like, that's wild. So that's all I experienced so far in the paranormal realm. I've also seen strange things in the sky that I've videoed many times as well myself. I don't know. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. Something similar, just strange lights in the sky that have made like slight movements in different time periods. I feel like, you know, sometimes the really spiritually awake people will see things like that. Or maybe they're meant for certain people to see. I do believe that there is something else out there besides human beings, that we're not the only form of intelligence in the world or in the universe. So, you know, I don't doubt that these type of things are possible. But you guys, give me what you guys think in the comments. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal? And if you have, as far as unidentified objects and UFOs, you know, I've been seeing ghosts and spirits my whole life, but this just happens to be my UFO paranormal story. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and y'all have a great day.